A stitch in time saves nine, make hay while the sun shines. So what happens when we fail to heed these wise sayings? I'm talking about street children, and we end up blaming the victims, creating a vicious cycle. The number of street children in Nigeria is alarming. These are children who are mostly out of school and have to eke out a living by begging and doing menial jobs. It is appalling that a country goes to sleep and wakes up daily, going about our normal businesses, very well knowing that there are children on the streets, hungry, vulnerable, dressed in rags, and at the mercy of nature and environmental conditions. Here are some statistics. Out of school children in Nigeria, between 10 to 18 million, depending on who you choose to believe. We don't even have the records. Out of school rates for primary level education, 25%, with significant differences between states. Up to 7 states have rates above 50%. These are children who face malnutrition, infectious diseases, sexual abuse and exploitation, economic exploitation, psychological and other mental health challenges, amongst others. Some efforts have been made to improve the situation, such as the introduction and adoption of the Child Rights Act by some states. Multilateral agencies and NGOs must also be commended. However, all these efforts are not enough, as we still have millions of children helpless in the streets. While there are street children all over the country, it is a well-known fact that they are prevalent in certain parts. Thus, people tag them as being lazy. I always disagree that this is a function of laziness. Doing that is simply blaming the victims, and it helps no one. Rather, it is a well-orchestrated strategy of the elite to keep children out of school and on the streets. The out-of-school children of today become adults tomorrow, with very little, if any, formal education and skills to survive in the world of today. They do not know better but to continue in the tradition which they know. That is to give birth to children and send them into the streets. Although children end up in the streets for different reasons, mainly multidimensional poverty, protracted violent conflicts, it is difficult to say that there isn't a deliberate strategy by the elites to maintain status quo. From this subset of the underserved in the communities, the elites recruit political thugs and use them as human weapons during conflicts, of course, instigated by the elites. Furthermore, keeping a section of the community uneducated and impoverished also means reduced competition for opportunities, economic and political, for themselves and their wards. Government must be decisive on taking children off the streets. Child labor must be punished. Child abuse must be called what it is and punished. The government, philanthropists, relevant NGOs, and other stakeholders must declare a state of emergency in the matter of street children. It must be said, however, that multilateral agencies and NGOs can only do so much. The government has to take responsibility and take the lead in tackling these menace. Again, Socrates said, the direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. Make no mistake, we will reap what we sow into the lives of all children, street children inclusive. I will suggest we are intentional in what we sow and sow wisely.